So, how would you like to live in one state and have a successful $3.2 million business in a completely different state that you literally never had to show up to ever? Well, that's what Howard Partridge has built. He has a carpet cleaning company in Texas. He lives most of the time in Florida. And I talked to him today about his top 3 tips to make 2017 your very best year ever. I hope you guys enjoy it. He gives some really, really good insight. Also, make sure you sign up if you haven't yet for the webinar Bootcamp 2.0 unveiling. I can show you how to crush 2017 inside my bootcamp. Just go to automategrowsell.com/best year. I'll see you then, guys.
Welcome to the Quick Talk Podcast with Joshua Latimer, where we discuss business, life, family, faith, struggle, fire, pain, and ultimately winning.
It's time to take massive action. Look, I can't work harder on your life or business than you do. It's ultimately all on you. You know, God created all the food the birds would ever need, but he doesn't put it in their nest. You've got to go get it. 10 out of 10 people die. So how about doing something today that actually matters while you still can? Hey everybody, thank you for hanging out with me again. Josh here with the Quick Talk Podcast, where I try my best to deliver straight to the point, no fluff, business stuff that you can actually use, not just theory. And today I'm talking to my good buddy Howard Partridge. Howard is such a cool guy. He travels around speaking. He has a really systemized, wicked successful company in Texas. It does carpet cleaning. They do millions. He inspires people. He inspires me. I look up to Howard a lot, and I have him on to give us his top 3 tips to make 2017 your very, very best year ever in business. And I know he's going to have some good value bombs for your brain. Howard, how are you, my friend?
Well, I'm doing phenomenal, of course.
Of course. I wouldn't think you'd be anything other than phenomenal, Howard. So you're down south where it's all warm and sweaty. What's it like having Christmas where it's sweaty? That's all you've ever known. You're really missing out on the snow.
Actually, I love it. If it was 75, 80 degrees every single day of my life, in fact, that's one of my life goals is to never be where it's cold ever at any point in time. And so I'm getting close to that goal. And so now that my home is almost finished in Destin, Florida, you know, we'll spend the spring, summer, and some of the fall there. And so I'm working on my next goal of having a place in the Caribbean or someplace like that so that I can be there in the wintertime.
Wow, so you want to go even further south when in the wintertime. That's amazing to me.
Right. So we have our main home is in Houston, and I'm in Houston right now. I don't know what the actual temperature is, but I'm going to guess it's probably 75. I've been laying out in the sun this morning. So,
well, you know, people might not know this if they don't know who Howard is, but Howard is going to be living in Florida while his business, Clean as a Whistle, I think it's called, is operating at full capacity in a completely different state. Howard, I mean, this is going to be a short interview, but you obviously know something about setting and accomplishing goals. You obviously have learned something about achieving your dreams, making them not just a dream, but making them become reality. I mean, literally, you've done that. So what can you speak to our audience to help them crush this year, to really move the needle? What are your top 3 tips, or maybe just start with the first one, that people can actually apply to their life going forward?
how about if I give you the whole picture and then we can unpack it as you like?
That's perfect.
Okay. First of all, you got to make money. And what I've found in 32 years of being in business, and of course, the Clean as a Whistle does, we did 3.2 million this past year. It is turnkey. I don't have to be there at all, like zero. And I have another company called Phenomenal Products, and I do coaching for in over 100 different industries. We've got clients in 9 different countries. But I've been working with small businesses for 2 decades. And what I've found is, first of all, most small business owners don't know their numbers. They hate their numbers. They don't want to look at their profit and loss. They don't even want to understand it. They just want to say, okay, do I have money in the bank? And most of the time, for most small business owners, it's no. I don't, and their credit cards are maxed out. So the first thing is you got to get a hold of your numbers, understand your P&L. There's only 5 numbers on any income statement, which is then going to bring you a profit. A business without a profit is just a hobby, and that is going to make your life better. I know that life is not just about money. I know that business isn't just about money. I live a phenomenal life, make a difference in a lot of lives, and I have a very full life, spiritually and family and everything else. But I do know this, that it creates a lot of stress when you don't make money. So if you're going to have a New Year's resolution, make it to be, I'm going to understand my income statement. I'm going to focus on profit. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, what you have to do, speaking of New Year's resolutions, the reason that the gyms are full in January and they're empty in February is because there are several reasons that people don't reach their New Year's resolutions. Most New Year's resolutions never come to fruition. The first reason is our self-image. My mentor, the late Zig Ziglar, said that all human beings, to one degree or another, suffer from a poor self-image. You got to understand that you're born to win. You're designed for accomplishment, engineered for success, endowed with the seeds of greatness. You're a phenomenal product. After all, God don't make no junk. You can. Out of the 7 core areas of life, what area are you supposed to be, were you created to be unsuccessful in? And the answer is none. Because of that, we don't have a vision. That's number 2. Number 2, we have no vision because we don't think that we can. We don't think we're worth it. We don't think it's possible or whatever. We don't believe. And you got to have a vision that drives you, compels you every day. Number 3, we don't understand the growth process. And in one of my books, Think and Be Phenomenal, I just published my 5th book. And in my 3rd book, Think and Be Phenomenal, I have what I call 5 levels of becoming the person that you're created to be. And most people don't understand the process that is required for growth, to reach a goal, to change a habit, to develop a skill. And there's 5 levels that you have to go through. And when you understand those levels, then you can have the potential. You already have the potential, but you can have the possibility of reaching your biggest goals in life and in business. And then the 4th and final one is, and this is what glues it all together, is most people don't have the support that they need. They try to go it alone. We need information and help from people like you, Josh. We need information and help from people like myself and my good friend Ellen Rohr. We need coaches and mentors. We need support. We need encouragement. And most of all, we need accountability as a small business owner. We like to have the support. We like to have the encouragement, but we don't like the accountability. And what we need is not only coaching, but we need community. And that's why I've developed a coaching community where we can support people, encourage them, and most of all, help them be accountable to their goals. Because without the people in your life, no one succeeds alone. You have to have coaches. You have to have mentors in every area of your life, whether that's health or any area that you're not excelling in, whether that's finance. Ellen Rohr helped me in my companies to be more successful financially. Health, I had to have health coaches and fitness trainers and people like that to get me to stay in shape. I've had countless mentors and coaches in my life as far as it goes for my business and spiritually. And the fact is that we're made that way. We need community. We need the support, the encouragement, and the accountability of people who have already been where it is that we want to go. So you got to believe. You got to believe in yourself. You got to have a vision. You got to understand the process that you're going through, and you'll understand all that better and most fully and most surely in a sense of that support, encouragement, and accountability that you get from building your dream team around you.
Okay, well, that's a wrap. That sounds great. Howard, have a great day. No, I'm just kidding. That's it was awesome. That was so well said. There's so much gold in there. People need to listen back to that spiel because it was just packed full of truth. And look, one thing I've learned last year, Howard, because I've transitioned to kind of working on the internet now, and I'm just meeting a lot of people, is every single high achiever that I have met, I'm not, without exception so far, based on what I know, has a mentor or a coach or somebody in their life. All of them do. It's a way of life.
Everyone.
It's just normal. Every single one. A lot of them have more than one because, like you said, there's different areas of expertise that people have. And I find it fascinating because the people that listen to this show, which are, small blue-collar entrepreneurs, quote unquote, I don't really know why they don't understand this, or maybe they never heard it. Why do you think people try to be a lone ranger? Is it fear? Is it just they're overwhelmed? I don't get it. Why do they feel like they have to do everything themselves?
Ego. It's ego. And because if, for example, I'll give you a great example. You and I were talking about my good friend Ellen Rohr, and I work very closely with Ellen, and we're going to do a lot of stuff in 2017 this year. And my businesses were struggling. We weren't making money. We had good income, but we didn't have good profits. And as a result, my own personal income was suffering. And Ellen came in, and I learned and implemented her systems. But even though I had her systems, I didn't implement it without her being involved. So as she was involved and helped us through it and kept us accountable, gave us the support, gave us the encouragement, gave us the accountability that we needed to work through it and stay with it. I got personally debt free except for real estate, and my companies are hugely profitable. And the thing is, if I had to put my head in the sand and said, I'm going to figure this out myself, because the truth is I could have figured it out. There's other resources out there. I could have done it. But the question is, will you? And the answer is probably not.
That's right.
Because it wasn't something I wanted to do. It wasn't something I enjoyed doing. And I still don't do it today, but I had to make the commitment to take on the coaching. It's ego. And so here's the point. The point is Ellen Rohr doesn't get a royalty on my companies, on my profit. Why would I try to do it myself when it's not even, I don't have the right systems. I'd rather pay someone else to do it. I'd rather pay someone who already has the system and copy that system. It's ego. I don't feel like, people don't feel like it's theirs if they don't create it.
That's really interesting.
But guess what? You don't have the skill to create it. I don't have the skill to create it. Could I have figured out how to be profitable? Yes. But did I have the skill and the gifts and the strengths that Ellen Rohr has? No.
I think you're right. And people spend a huge amount of their time each week doing stuff that they're really not that good at, doing stuff that they're not designed to do. I can't remember the book, one of the books where it has like the zone of genius, where you have like a circle and it's what you're passionate about, and then you have a circle of what you're really good at and kind of where it overlaps as your zone of genius. But the guys out grinding and hustling every day, they're doing all kinds of stuff at a low level, but maybe just to hold on to that ego because they don't want to admit that they reached out for help. But the hilarious part about it, Howard, is that all the people in the top tier of business all reach out for help.
Every single one.
Okay, awesome. So let's go back and break down briefly, and then we'll wrap it up because I want to keep these short for people, just little golden nuggets. Give us some bullet points again on the four things that you had mentioned.
Yeah, so one is your self-image. In other words, we internally, all human beings have limiting beliefs about what they can do and who they are and all of that. And I subscribe to Zig Ziglar's philosophy that you're born to win. And so if you don't believe that you can, you won't even try. And the way that we change our beliefs is change our thinking about who we are. And so there's like 7 different areas of life on the wheel of life that we use. You find it in all my books, but I learned it first from Zig Ziglar. And so spiritual, family, physical, mental, career, financial, so on and so forth, personal. And so I often ask my audience, which one of these areas were you created to be unsuccessful in?
None.
And they all say, well, none. But that's not how we live.
My observation, too, is that small business owners oftentimes hang out with other small business owners, but none of them are particularly driven or positive or motivational. And so a lot of these guys, they're the smartest guy in the room, quote unquote. I mean, what's a practical suggestion for them to kind of pivot their self-limiting beliefs or to pivot the way they view their own self? Is it just change? Is it as simple as changing your friend group? Is it as simple as just weaseling your way into deeper relationships with people that are ahead of where you are?
The greatest life lesson that I've ever learned is get around people who are already doing and being, I might add, doing what you want to do, and they're being the person that you want to become. So spiritually, who's the most spiritual person that you know? Family, who's the best family man that you know, or wife that you know? Business-wise, Ellen Rohr is a great example. You don't know how to figure out your numbers? Well, she's got books on that. She's got programs on that. You want to learn leadership? Get around people who are phenomenal leaders. You want to learn how to build systems? Get around people who have built phenomenal systems. We stay with the people who have stinking thinking because it's comfortable for us, and we feel significant in that group. And like you said, if we get around people who know more than we do, then those internal beliefs, that's why it starts with this self-image, those internal beliefs about ourselves, we get jealous, we get envious, we get uncomfortable, we get intimidated, and we got to get over that.
It's almost like ego is playing a role once again.
Bingo. It really is.
Wow.
And that's true for all of us. I mean, I saw Dave Ramsey on stage interviewing George W. Bush, and I thought I would never, ever see Dave Ramsey sort of trip over his word, but he did. And I was like, it exists at every level.
Yes.
Every level.
Wow.
Because we're human beings.
Yeah, we're human beings. We got to grow. And if you're going to stay comfortable all the time, then you can't grow. I've had major discomfort the last year, moving to a foreign country, starting new businesses. I did my first public speaking, which was terrifying. I'm doing all this stuff. But I'm trying to grow at a personal level. I'm trying to grow and to learn the game and to figure it out. And so, Tony Robbins says that your level of success is directly proportionate to the amount of uncertainty you're comfortable living with. And I feel like when I feel that knot in my stomach, then I'm doing it right. I'm in the right zone. And when it's easy and comfortable, then I can't grow. Would you agree with that?
There's no doubt about it. I don't like it, but it's true.
Yeah. Well, everybody's at different stages. Okay. Well, Howard, I appreciate your time. I mean, we covered a lot of ground, so I just encourage people to listen back to it. But before I let you go, how can people connect with you, and do you have any closing thoughts specifically on how we can make 2017 our very, very best year ever?
You bet. So first of all, you can go to my website, howardpartridge.com, get on my email list. We give out a lot of free resources and those kinds of things, webinars, videos, and tips and information. So that's the one thing, howardpartridge.com. And then as far as closing thoughts, just remember this, that the one and only reason your business exists is to be a vehicle to help you achieve your life goals. And you got to get clear on your life goals. Get a clear vision for who you are, where you want to go, what you want to do, why you want to do it. And don't let anyone else, especially people who aren't successful, deter you from doing that. When I was trying to grow my business and doing all this stuff, I was part of this group of guys that had stinking thinking. They literally laughed at me and said, "Who do you think you are, Zig Ziglar or somebody?" Well, I didn't even know Zig Ziglar at that point in time, and today I'm the exclusive small business coach for Ziglar and travel around the world with Tom Ziglar himself.
It's amazing. I was watching a Ziglar video right before this call, actually.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I think he's amazing.
So don't let anybody, including yourself, make you think that you're any less important than anybody else or more important than anybody else. You can do this. You got to know that you can do this.
I love it. Thank you so much for the words of encouragement. Everybody go to howardpartridge.com. I know for a fact all of his stuff is the real deal. It's amazing. And a lot of my friends have went through your stuff. In fact, one of the guys, Brian, in my boot camp is in your inner circle. And he was just telling me last week about how awesome it is and how he toured your facility in Texas. So anyway, Howard, you're great. Thank you so much. Good luck on moving further south to the Caribbean on part 2 of your life goal here coming up.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you, buddy.
Hey, my friends, I want to invite you to hang out with me on January 12th. Now, many of you know I launched my Automate, Grow, Sell Small Business Bootcamp about a year ago. And over the last year, in 2016, we had over 115 small businesses in a variety of service industries join me and the rest of the bootcamp members to go through the bootcamp, right? This is a high impact, massively disruptive, in a good way, bomb for your business. It can change everything. And in all seriousness, it has doubled and even tripled some of our members' businesses the first year that they're in the bootcamp. Now, we also learned a lot. And so we've made some adjustments to the way that the course is laid out, to the content that's in it, and we have a new game plan going into 2017 to really help you make 2017 your very, very best year in business ever. We've had massive feedback. We've done a lot of research and data with our current members to figure out, what can we add to the bootcamp to make it better? What was missing? How can we add more and more value? There's a lot included. I don't have to go into all of it now. I just want you to know that on January 12th, you can join me for free, and I'm going to do a teaching on how to make 2017 your very, very best year in business ever. And that might look like anything. There's no wrong answer, but that's for you to decide. For me, the last 2 years I owned my business before I sold it, I only worked 5 hours a week in the business. That's a real true story. The business still did over $150,000 a month, and it was totally automated. That's what I teach you how to do in the boot camp, right? So whether you want to have a really big business or a smaller business that's boutique but highly profitable, that's what we can teach you. But the most powerful part of the boot camp is the membership, the community, all these other businesses, because we have a private mastermind group on Facebook that's hidden, it's secret, it's just for the boot campers, and there are very, very smart people in the boot camp. So there's a lot there, and on the webinar, I'm going to walk you through it, screenshot it, lay out what's in it, and the methodology behind the teaching and what it can do for you, right? Because look, 2017 is going to sneak up on you and fly by just like this year did. There's no reason in the world to not investigate, hang out with me on January 12th, and just take a peek. Just take a look and see what we have to offer you. It could change everything for you. So I hope you register. It's totally free, and I will see you on January 12th.